amazing.
Delighted.
So happy, because I guess when you feel that your programme is really important and has delivered great results, you always feel a bit biased and you think we should win this. But actually, it's just amazing to see the hard work recognised.
So this was a real groundbreaking project that we did. So it wasn't just a communication programme. It went through loads of stages. This was about trying to get really diverse sets of ethnic minorities to engage with the vaccination programme. And so we did research and insight and focus groups, and we really went for it big time.
So the thing that motivated me to want to do this piece of work is there was a nurse that died early on in the pandemic, a woman called Mary Ajapong, who actually my mum went to church with. She was 28, pregnant, and couldn't afford to protect herself in the early days of the pandemic. So she carried on working even though she was heavily pregnant, and ended up dying from COVID. So one of the things that motivated me to want to do more research and understanding about how people of colour were being affected by COVID, and then potentially how they would respond to the vaccine, was that really, because I felt like we need to do more to reduce that inequality gap, and we need to do more to understand people from ethnic minorities, because we don't understand them very well in the NHS. And if we want to close that inequality gap, we need to do more work like this programme.
I mean, part of our programme was that we shared the findings of how to connect and how to engage different ethnic minorities with different techniques and different messages to take part in NHS initiatives. So I think a big part for us is that we use the findings from this in future NHS communications. And so, we together put on a big session to try and share our findings, and we have got an amazing turnout to it all. But for us, it will be about making sure that lots of other trusts and ICSs and TCGs, as long as they'll ask, use it.
So I guess the good thing about the recognition of this piece of work is that hopefully areas will start recognising that in order to really engage properly and with people from ethnic minorities and communities that are seldom heard or marginalised, you have to put the work in at the front end. You have to understand them, you have to engage with them, it has to be a sustained piece of work as well, and so you have to build trust in those communities. And what I hope is next is that we started building that trust, started trying to get those communities to understand what we're trying to do for them as well as what they can do for themselves, and hopefully building that trust between public sector organisations and those communities to really make a difference.
And it's like communications isn't easy, and good communications you have to really work hard at. And this project, we worked really hard at it. So,
and just to say, I guess, congratulations to all of those comms or people that have been shortlisted, because I must say, for the last almost 2 years, communication teams have worked so hard, because I think finally there was this realisation that actually communications and engagement and involvement is really important if we want to design the right services, if we want to get people to change behaviour, if we want to get people to take up the vaccine, etc., etc. So hopefully communications is finally starting to get the recognition it deserves.